Well, this sheep wagon has been in this ranching family for 130 plus years. They say they bought it in 1890. So when it came in, it had gone through all these years of deterioration to where it was when we brought it in, if you remember what that picture looked like. Well, the desire of the owner now, who is a grandson of the grandfather who bought this, wants to save this, as we all know, as much as possible from the old materials and put it back to kind of what it looks like. So you've been following along in this process. Well, I have been setting aside some of this old wood, trying to use it here and there as I can. And as I have used that, it has gone to the wayside. But there's been a couple of boards off of the benches and the sideboards that I have specifically set aside for this project of the two side boxes that I'd like to tackle this week. So there should be a box that sits in here. It rests on this side step, and then there's one of two bolts. This one is the only one that's been remaining that should come through this bench and kind of help support the outer side of this box. It doesn't go clear to the top. It's a kind of a low box, and we can see that from the imprint that was left on the old sideboard. So the side step on this left side went from this iron here to this iron here. These are the two irons that support that step, and this is the imprint of where that box would have set. So this is one of those side support irons, and from the bottom of this sideboard, remember it sits on top of the floorboards itself, but from the center of this bolt down to where that floorboard is about 8 inches. So this corresponding hole to that brace would have set right here. So from the center of that bolt down to the bottom of the board, of this sideboard, if that was 8 inches, the bottom of our board, and it would be the top of our step, should be about right there. So this would put the height of our side box at about 11 inches, it looks like, from the top of the board. And then this box seems to be about 22 inches in length. And my guess is it's probably had a lid that either hinged on the top or perhaps hinged on the bottom. Hinging on the bottom is my guess, is what it would have been. This box was no longer there. So the box on the right side is actually a hanging box. And there was two irons that came down about like so. And it seems like this bolts through the top bench and this bolts through the sideboard. And the box is suspended by these two irons here. So it appears that it is about 12 inches deep and 14 to 15 inches wide. And if we look at the remains of the old right side, we can determine what that width was. So this is the remains of the right side, and you can see the imprint here of the iron that comes down to the step, and this is the second brace that comes down to the step. So between these two cleats here was the width of our box. And that appears to be about 25 inches. So these irons bolt through here and one here and go up to the top of the bench seat. Now in rebuilding some of the other parts of this, I did salvage some of this good wood in between, but I purposely left this intact so that I could find that measurement for this right side suspended box. So from the right side sideboard, this is all I have left. This is toward the front. This is where the brake action will be, where the rod will actually transverse from the outside to the inside, and there will be a brake handle that comes up that will be operated from the inside. I wrote down the measurement of the position of this is 24 inches from the front edge. I did trim this off because I also used some of that wood on other parts of this project. So these two pieces are the only parts that are remaining of the right sideboard. And this is what is remaining of the left sideboard. This is the position of the box that will set on that step. So if I turn this around, it'll actually be in its correct position. So this would have been the bench, and then this would have been the side, both to the left side. Now this left sideboard is not much good. I could maybe salvage a little bit in here for cleats, but I kept this intact mainly for position of that left side box. This left bench board was actually the best shape, so I have marked out where I want to salvage some pieces out of this that I can actually make the boxes, maybe not for both sides, but I'll get what I can, mainly out of this left side bench. So I have tried to mark this out to where I'm going to be skipping all the many little nails that are in this. So these aren't going to be enough to do both side boxes, but I'm going to include as much old material as I can when I build these. Well, I think I have all the pieces made for these two boxes. Some of this I had to use new lumber, and I have put one coat of my vinegar filings on it. And then for the right side, I have two boards, a front and one side that was from this old bench. And then I found an old piece of lumber that will make up the second side. I have a new bottom on it. And then for the left box, I do have a old front and enough for two sides. And then I have a new top and a new bottom for it. So it's not really quite as dark as I would like yet, but I think I'm going to go ahead and assemble these, and then I'll add a second coat of my vinegar metal filing solution to that. You know, there's a lot of variety in these side boxes on different sheep wagons. Oftentimes they are clear up to the bench down to these steps, fairly large size, and a lot of them have openings or access from the inside. This one is different, has an opening to the outside. I don't know what they would have put in there. I had this old style hasp, which is kind of cool, so I decided to put it back there. The one on the right side, I have to put that outside board on yet and close that in, but it is going to have access to the top. So I need to cut a hole in that bench, and I'm going to leave that outside board off in case I need access while I put that door in. I'll probably do that next week. Appreciate you coming along. Thanks for watching.